morning, viewers. Welcome to MouShauk. Today, we'll discuss some more questions on the nutrition chapter according to ICSE syllabus class 9. So these all are ICSE pattern questions. Okay. From these questions, you will be able to know what the what the chapter is about. Okay, and that will help you in rather remembering the whole chapter in a very short way. Okay, and you can identify each and every points. You can note each and every points from these questions, okay, of this chapter. So please stay tuned and please to subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and if you are a new viewer to my channel. Okay. And if you are liking the video, press the like button, share with your friends so that they can also be benefited with these videos. And before starting, do meditate. Before starting your day, do meditate. Okay. And we will also start with a short meditation. Okay. So let us concentrate on a point of light. Think that light is point of view. And what you feel, light it up, feeling, light, tension free. So today's question will start with what are carbohydrates and what is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. So carbohydrates are compounds of elements such as carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So three elements are there in the carbohydrates: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay. And when they are oxidized, when they are oxidized, there is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. The compound, when these compounds are oxidized in the cells, they release energy. Okay, and they are the principal sources of energy in the body. This carbohydrates are the principal sources of energy in the body, and the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen in this carbohydrate is in the ratio of 2:1 always. Okay. And examples of this are sugars, starch, cellulose. Now, what are sugars? Broadly, into how many categories are they categorized, and what are they? Okay, so sugars are what? Nothing but carbohydrates, which are soluble in water and they taste sweet. Okay, so simple definition is they are carbohydrates that are soluble in water and taste sweet. Okay. So broadly, they are categorized into two major divisions, that is monosaccharides and disaccharides. Monosaccharides are called simple sugars, whereas disaccharides are called double sugars. Okay. Then what is the general chemical formula of monosaccharides and what are the type of monosaccharides? So general formula of monosaccharides is C6H12O6 and types are glucose, fructose, and galactose. Okay. And these disaccharides are called double sugars because there are two different molecules of sugars present. So that's why one molecule of disaccharide has two different molecules of monosaccharides. two molecules of monosaccharides are present. That's why they are disaccharides, and that's why they are known as double sugar. Okay? Double sugars. Then what is the general chemical formula of disaccharides, and what are the types of disaccharides? General chemical formula of disaccharides are C12H22O11. See, everywhere you can see the ratio is between hydrogen and oxygen is 2:1. H12O6, that means if you divide by 2, you will get, divide by 6, then you will get 2:1. Okay, and in the second case also, in case of disaccharides also, you can see H22O11. If you divide it by 11, then you can see 2:1 is the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so the carbohydrates have the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is 2:1. Okay, and types of disaccharides are sucrose, maltose, and lactose. Okay. Then what is the other name of disaccharides? Double sugars. What is the other commercial sugar? What is it made up of? Okay, the other, our commercial sugar is sucrose. It is made up of glucose and fructose. It's a disaccharide, and one molecule of disaccharide consists of one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. Okay. Then from what it is obtained? Sucrose is obtained from what, and what it is commonly known as? Okay, so it is obtained from sugar cane, and that's why it's commonly known as cane sugar. Okay, what is the popular name of glucose? It is grape sugar. Okay. Then what is the popular name of fructose and galactose? Fructose is known as fruit sugar, galactose is milk sugar. Then the other name of maltose and lactose, maltose is known as malt sugar, lactose is milk sugar. Then what are the components of maltose and lactose? Maltose, two glucose molecules are there. Okay, that is glucose plus glucose. The lactose is glucose and galactose. Okay. Then what is starch? What is its chemical formula? What is it called? See, starch is one. It is a form. It is an insoluble carbohydrate. Starch is an insoluble carbohydrate. It is not dissolved in water. Okay, and it is in this form. The plant commonly stores the carbohydrates. In the starch form, the plants generally they store the carbohydrates in this starch form. Its chemical formula is C6H10O5, and it is also called a polysaccharide. Okay. Now, two other insoluble polysaccharide carbohydrates. So these are cellulose and glycogen. Where cellulose is found, it is found in the cell walls of the plants. What is glycogen? Glycogen is in the form, it is the form in which carbohydrates are stored in animals, especially in the liver, and some they are stored in the muscles. Especially the liver, in this liver only, the animals store the carbohydrates in this form. And it is also stored in some muscles also. Now, what is roughage? What is its function? We know that cellulose is a polysaccharide and it is insoluble carbohydrate. Okay, so this cellulose is not non-digestible by animals, especially humans. Okay, they cannot digest cellulose. Rather, you can say carnivores and the omnivores, they cannot digest cellulose. So these are non-digestible carbohydrates that form the roughage. Okay. Now, it helps in proper functioning of the gut. This roughage function is, it helps in the proper functioning of the gut, absorbs lots of water, retains it. Okay, that keeps the fecal matter soft and it prevents constipation. Okay, it absorbs lots of water, it retains that water and makes the fecal matter soft, keeps it soft and prevents constipation. It helps in easy movement of the undigested food through the intestine. It stimulates the muscle contraction in the intestinal wall. which makes easy movement of the fecal matter. So these are the four functions you can see. One is rather 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's four functions. First is it's proper functioning of the gut, absorbs a lot of water, then making the fecal matter soft, okay, and keeping it soft and preventing constipation. Helps in easy movement of the undigested food within this time. Also, digested food, which is is also passed on the fecal matter, which is formed. Okay, the digested food that is absorbed, but the fecal matter which remains, it stimulates the muscle contraction of the intestinal walls, which makes the easy movement of the fecal matter. Okay. Now, what are the sources of roughage? Vegetables, fruits, okay, fibers generally. So vegetables, fruits, corn, half crushed wheat, that is dalia. They are the chief sources of roughage. Then what nutrients provide more energy than carbohydrates? What are they composed of, and which food provide these type of nutrients? What are their functions? Then the nutrient which provides more energy than carbohydrates, that is fat. Okay, and they are composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Okay, and common foods which contain the fats that are butter, clarified butter, that is ghee, then cheese, vegetable oils, beef, fish liver oils. Okay, these all contain fats. Okay, now what are the function of the fats? Okay, so they provide energy in the body like carbohydrates. Inside the body, they provide energy. Then rather they produce energy, not provide, they produce energy in the body. Okay, they are an important storage form of food. In this form, the food is stored inside our body. Okay, they serve as a solvent for many fat soluble vitamins. Okay, fat soluble vitamins, they need fat to be dissolved in. Okay, they remain under the skin, thereby protecting the body against a rapid loss of heat. That is, they act as an insulator. Okay, so that heat does not escape from the body rapidly. Okay. What is the most essential element present in the protein? That is nitrogen. What are fats and oils made up of? They are made up of fatty acids and glycerol. What are the simple smaller units of proteins? That is amino acids. Okay. What is the cause of kwashiorkor? Kwashiorkor is what? It is a protein deficiency disease, and it is caused when mothers stop breastfeeding. That is, their babies at an early age. If they stop breastfeeding mothers, then the child can get kwashiorkor. Okay? And the diet which the child receives is poor in protein. Okay? Then what are the symptoms of kwashiorkor? First is underweight. Okay. Then belly protruding out. The child's belly protrudes out. Then the skin gets dark and scaly. Okay. Stunted growth. There's loss of appetite. Repeated diarrhea. Okay. Loose motion. That is repeated diarrhea. Then enlarged liver and anemia. Edema of the feet. That is swelling of the feet and the face. Edema means swelling of the feet and the face due to what? Due to accumulation of water in the tissues of the feet and the face. Okay, so what are the symptoms of kwashiorkor? One first is underweight, then belly protruding out, skin becoming dark and scaly, then growth becomes stunted, then loss of appetite, does not like to eat. Okay, then a repeated diarrhea, liver enlarging, and anemia, that is loss of hemoglobin. Red blood cells, less of red blood cells in the blood. Okay, less of hemoglobin. Then swelling of the feet and the face due to the accumulation of water in the tissues of the feet and the face. Okay. Now, what is the treatment of kwashiorkor? The child who is having the kwashiorkor will have to be given protein-rich diet. Even the control, it's also control also, that if a child is given protein-rich diet, then he may not get this protein. Okay, and it should contain pulses, milk, egg, fish, meat. Okay, and a mixed diet of, if he is a veg, he is not non-veg, then he can be given wheat, gram, peanuts, soybean, jaggery. Okay? Then what does kwashiorkor mean? Why does it happen? The name kwashiorkor is an African term, which means what? The sickness of the child, which who gets when a newborn baby comes. Okay, that means if a baby is born after the second child is born after the first one, the first baby gets that kwashiorkor due to this newborn, because the mother stops breastfeeding to the first one, and this first one does not get the mother's milk, which has a lot of protein. Okay, and that person, that child, the first child, that he is kept on mainly on fruits and vegetables, starchy diet. Okay, and he gets a starchy diet, and mainly fruits and vegetables are given, protein is avoided. So that baby gets this portion. Okay. Now, what is marasmus and when does it affect? What are its symptoms and what are its treatments? Okay. So marasmus is also a protein deficiency disease, which is caused due to the sudden stoppage of breastfeeding, again, followed by a diet which is poor in energy-giving foods like carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Symptoms are less body weight, degeneration of muscles, which results in a very weak body, and if he feels as if the body is only made up of skin and skeleton, skin and bones. Okay, no muscles are there, so that type of muscle degeneration takes place. Okay? The skin becomes loosely folded, thin face, thinning of the limbs become thin, face becomes thin, retarded physical and mental growth, ribs appearing prominent, skeleton, the body looks like full of only of bones, and only the skin is over the bones, like that, no muscle. Okay. Muscle has been degenerated. So marasmus is like that. Now, what is treatment to control? The child suffering from this disease should be given a diet which is rich in protein and carbohydrates. Okay. And control is also there. That is, if he is given a protein and carbohydrate-rich diet, he may not get this marasmus. Okay. Now, state the differences between kwashiorkor and marasmus. So kwashiorkor is, it affects children from 1 to 5 years of age, and marasmus in the infants who is up to 1 year of age. Okay. Then kwashiorkor is due to the deficiency of protein in the diet, whereas marasmus, all the three, that is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in the diet deficiency of these three nutrients. Okay. Then kwashiorkor leads to edema of the legs and the face, that is swelling of the legs and the face, whereas in marasmus there is no edema. In kwashiorkor, the skin becomes dark and scaly, whereas in marasmus the skin becomes loosely folded. In kwashiorkor, there is no degeneration of muscles, but in marasmus there is degeneration of muscles and the body becomes very weak. Okay. Next is, what are the mineral salts? How much of them are required in our diet? Mineral salts are what? Mineral salts are inorganic, metallic or non-metallic salts. Like, for example, iron, calcium, sodium, chlorine, iodine. Okay. These are the mineral salts which are present in our diet. Okay. Now, they are needed in very small quantities in our diet, but they are needed. Okay. Then what are macronutrients and micronutrients? Macronutrients are mineral salts that are required in large quantities in our diet, okay, like in our body. That is calcium, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, sulfur, chlorine. Okay, and micronutrients, they are the mineral salts which are needed in small quantities in our body. That is iron, cobalt, copper, zinc, iodine, fluorine, manganese, molybdenum. Okay. Next is, what are the sources of the elements in our diet? Like of the following elements in our diet: calcium, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, sulfur, and chlorine. Calcium source is dairy foods, beans, cabbage. Sodium is from table salt. Potassium is banana, potato, citrus fruits. Then phosphorus is dairy products, cereals, beans, nuts, meat, eggs. Then magnesium is vegetables, whole grain, nuts, seafood, meat. Sulfur, dairy products, onion, garlic, radish, meat, egg. Chlorine is table salt. Then why do we need the following elements? What are the functions of these following elements? Calcium. Calcium is needed because they constitute our bones and enamel of the tooth. Then it helps to contract the muscles. It helps to clot the blood. Okay. Then potassium helps in the activity of the nerve and the muscles, and helps in the maintaining the fluid balance in our body, helps in the secretion of the neurotransmitters, that is acetylcholine, so that the nerve impulses can be transmitted from one nerve to the brain, to the spinal cord, and back again, so carrying the nerve impulses. So that is helped by potassium. Magnesium, it helps in the structuring of bones and tooth. And it also synthesizes enzymes. Okay? Then sulfur forms the component of protein and coenzymes. Okay? Now mention the deficiency diseases of the following elements like calcium, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, sulfur. Calcium forms rickets, poor skeletal growth. And sodium, muscular cramps and non-transmission of nerve impulses. Forms muscular cramps. Okay. So you can feel the cramps in the legs. Okay. And then they are the non-transmitters of, say, if they're deficient, then they cannot transmit nerve impulses to from one nerve to another, or from nerve to the central nervous system or peripheral nervous system, like that. Then potassium, non-transmission of nerve impulses again. Potassium also, if there's deficiency of potassium, then there is non-transmission of nerve impulses. Then phosphorus, they form soft bones if they're deficient of potassium. Magnesium, if it is deficient, then it forms increased irritability of the nervous system. Then sulfur deficiency causes skin problems. Then mention the sources of the following elements like cobalt. Cobalt can be found from milk, cereals, pulses, liver, red meat. Copper can be found from nuts, legumes, liver, kidney. Zinc can be obtained from cereals, pulses, nuts, meat, liver oil. Iodine from iodized salt, water, and seafoods. Chlorine from water, milk. Manganese from vegetables, molybdenum from pulses, cereals, and meat. Okay. Now mention the reason for taking the following elements as nutrients in our diet, like iron. Iron is taken for the synthesis of hemoglobin associated with the oxidation reduction reactions. So for synthesizing hemoglobin, iron is needed. Even oxidation reduction reactions which are taking place, that also requires iron. Okay. Then cobalt for the development of RBC, as it is a component of vitamin B12. Okay, it is a component of vitamin B12, and also it helps in the development of RBC. Then copper is for the production of melanin, cell oxidation, and synthesis of enzymes. For this, copper is needed. Then zinc is needed for the synthesis of enzymes and carbon dioxide transport in the blood. Then iodine. Iodine is needed for its being a component of thyroxine hormone, which is secreted by the thyroid gland. You know that thyroid gland secretes thyroxine hormone, And for that reason, iodine is required. And if it is deficient, then it can cause poisoning. So fluorine, it is as it is a component of tooth enamel and bones, fluorine is required. The manganese for bone development and metabolism of nitrogen. For metabolism of nitrogen and for bone development, manganese is required. Molybdenum is required for assimilation of nitrates. Okay. Now mention the deficiency diseases of the following. Cobalt forms pernicious anemia. Okay. In copper forms the kind of anemia. Later we will discuss what is pernicious anemia. Copper deficiency causes loss in body weight and also causes anemia. Okay. Zinc deficiency forms retarded growth, skin lesions, and albinism. It's a skin disease, albinism. Okay. Then iodine. Iodine is what? Iodine is deficiency forms goiter and cretinism in children, which means that there is a poor mental and physical growth in the children. Then fluorine deficiency causes dental decay, tooth decay. Then manganese deficiency forms poor bone development, poor development of the bones. Molybdenum deficiency causes slight retardation of the growth retardation. So this is the end of today's question answer discussion. Some more questions are still left, that is from vitamins, water, and balanced diet. Okay, so these three topics are still left. We'll discuss in the next video. So till then, please go through this. If you have any doubt, please write in the comment box. You can also write in the in my email ID, that is kasturi74@gmail.com. KASTURI kasturi74@gmail.com. Okay. And if you are a new viewer to my channel or not subscribed yet, and to know more questions and answer discussion, you have to stay tuned. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, because that will notify you as soon as a new video is uploaded. And if you are a new viewer to my channel, please do subscribe. Okay? If you are liking the video, press the like button, share with your friends so that they can also be benefited from this video. And do meditate before you start your training. I tell you, you will be benefited, very much benefited, if you do meditate before you start your day. Because that will increase your concentration power, it will increase your succeeding possibilities, your memory power will increase, you will get interest in your job, in your whatever work you are doing. Okay. So try this and let me know. Please type in the comment box. Okay. So thank you. Till then, bye.